Tomorrow, according to JP Morgan, we could see a 6 to 7% move on the indexes. Yes, the indexes within minutes of the market open. This is what the financial professionals are saying, and this is what we need to be looking at. We're going to be watching the SP 500 and the Nasdaq 100 specifically. Today's video will not be that long. It's be very short, sweet, to the point. Now, specifically on the day, we saw weakness on the S&P and the NQ. Now, NQ is where we expected most of the weakness. The S&P and the Dow were finally seeing weakness overall. That's been a little bit of a shock and something that we need to be paying attention to. But we need to look at the big news underlying here. This is what JP Morgan said today. If we see a big surprise, okay, they ran a bank scenario analysis, said a big miss or a beat could move the S&P up or down as much as 6%. Right now, we are expecting a 7.9 to 8% print, a decline or incline to about 8.4%, or a decline to 7.6% could bring this big beat. That's what they ran based on these tests. And they said a 7.9 reading as the most likely scenario, which would accordingly be quote unquote a beat, would be a 40% probability of that outcome. Anything better than that would be a surprise. Now, if we go and look at this data overall, we can see where we are at and what we're coming in. And this is not core CPI. This is CPI flat year over year, 8% expected. Previous was 8.2%. Now, the question again is going to be, is this going to be revised higher? We've seen the previous revisions come in lower. So that's what you're hopefully expecting if you're looking at a bullish outlook on the market. Now, I've had some comments on previous videos. And again, I try to stay unbiased here. Again, I say this every single day. So when you come here, you can trust what I say, or at least you know that I'm not making anything up. And if I ever do, say anything faulty, I always come out and come clean and say I made a mistake, etc., etc. Now, looking at this, I'm going to say this. I've been very bearish on the broad market. I don't suspect a beat personally. This is my personal preference, and I know everyone's going to ask that in the comments. What do I think is going to happen? So I'm just going to tell you right now. I think it comes around at 7.9 to 8%. Personally, that's what I see happening. Now, there were some underlying effects said specifically on the day by the Fed. This is where things get a little interesting, if you will. So we can go back to my account. This is where Fed Evans was speaking near the end of the day. Fed Evans, I see advantages to adjusting the pace of the Fed move soon. Also said there's specifically dangers when it comes to jobs based on what the Fed wants to happen with that. We want unemployment to rise because we need this for the market. We need those labor pains on the market before we can get that good outlook that we need in the future, right? And then he also said, I'm hopeful that they will slow very soon inflation, right? This has kind of been the going statement. There's no big surprise here. They keep saying this. There's not a big, anything there. Now, going again, big thing. This will come out right before open, I believe, an hour before, I believe. I could be wrong, but I do believe that's where it's going to be released, 8:30, and that's going to be Eastern time, so 7:30 Central for myself. Now, I want to look at the charts, and again, I'm not going to take too much time, not even go over any stocks here on the channel today. When we look at the market, what happened here, what was the weakness? And I'm actually going to say right now, and I am team, when we look at the aspects of what moves the market, I am 100% team crypto follows indexes and the economy. However, we've seen a lot of concern on the crypto market based on liquidity issues. And this has been a major concern when it comes to in big banks, specifically like Credit Suisse. This has been a really big concern overall on the broad market. Now, we've been looking at some of those plays overseas, but it hasn't been a problem specifically here in America. And I believe FTX has showed that there is a problem here. Now, again, this is not with banks yet, but I believe that's the concern. And I believe that's why we started seeing the dip here on the broad-based market. Now, I will say you didn't get a nasty drop in the after hours and really started once the market opened up here. And this could also be with what happened and what was said from JP Morgan. I don't want to say it's all based on what happened with crypto. And I don't want to imply whatsoever that crypto is leading the stock market, because I do not believe that at all. That's just nonsense. Anyone says that, I believe they have no, economic knowledge on what's happening right now. Now, I will also say, based on what's happened with, the Fed meeting that we just had, and then what's happening with CPI coming out, This has happened on both instances. We bounced on DXY at this major level. And remember, these levels are posted on Twitter, so I recommend that you're following on there. If not, then I guess just wait for my videos every single day. But I'm posting tons of charts there, so you're ready. Now, we've talked about this zone. We hit it once again. We talked about as we were coming into this zone, and you're bouncing here. We did the same exact thing going into the Fed minutes. Now, again, right now, I am totally liquid. I have essentially no positions except my DWAC position. I have a Bank of America put, but that's for months out. So I'm not really concerned with anything in the short term. I'm ready to move based on what information is given to us. I also told you I wasn't really looking to trade anything but the upside potential, which obviously today, if we look at the SPY, we didn't get too much upside potential on the smaller time frames either. So I do want to highlight that we're coming right into that demand, but I do want to say I didn't do too much trading overall. So looking at this, I believe we're coming into an area to where you're gonna get your opportunities across the board. So be prepared for that. Specifically from this meeting, we're either gonna know if we're gonna be looking at a bullish perspective until the rest of this data comes out from PCE and other inflationary news. And then we're also going to be able to know if we should be playing the downside, because what did the Fed tell us? And it's very important to identify what the Fed continues to tell us. They told us they are not going to pivot. They're not going to start lowering rates. They've said they want to lower rates, but they're not going to until there is evidence the market is cooling, okay? Until there's evidence that something's working in the process. But right now, what have they told us? Nothing is working, nothing's slowing down. There's major issues across the board. So right now, I have to sit on my hands. I have to be patient where I'm at, and I have to just let the data print. Once it is printed, you're gonna see more charts from me on Twitter, so make sure you're following on there. Also, before we go any further, I have to ask you, consider liking, consider subscribing. We just hit 40.4K. Awesome. I appreciate all the viewerships. We're killing it here on the channel. I'm trying to keep everyone here as updated as possible when it comes to the market every single day. So make sure you're tuned in. Make sure you have the notification turned on so you get the videos. Now, going into this is where I'm going to be looking. And the after hours, I can almost guarantee we're going to be in the 10.8 down to 10.7 area. This level most likely will hold until CPI data comes out, and this is based on NQ. So there's not too much we need to talk about. I can go over charts I'm liking, charts and stocks I see having good movement, but it doesn't matter because everything comes right back down to CPI. So I'm not going to BS you and pretend like I know what's going to happen either. Again, I told you what I assumed what would happen, but I'm not confident in that enough to be making bets on the market right now. So again, the winning strategy here is to sit on your hands and be a little patient. Again, tomorrow you will have your information and you'll have your data. So far, the plan up until today did work. We traded that upside move going into CPI. We had that great little run here. Now it's cooled off. We didn't get the upside pressure. We had none of the confirmation. We lost June lows. And now it's time to continue with the patience and wait until tomorrow. Now, I don't do this often, and I really don't highlight any of my wins or anything along those lines. And this is in no way a point to get you to subscribe to Discord or anything like that. But this is evidence and this is proof. And I want people to understand that right now, if you focus on the swings, if you focus on what the Fed tells us and you are patient with your trades, I'm telling you, the proof is here. This is just my account on the day trading account, the day trade and swing trading account on the past month. And it's been a great ride here. And Discord's a testament to that, Twitter as well. But I want to highlight how you're seeing the moves happen. You'll see periods of me just not trading. Then I get into swings and you'll see the move. Almost no trading. Then the next swing, right? That's how this works right now. It's about patience. Focus on getting the data you need, trading the move, and then don't trade the chop. There's no reason for it. Again, I just like to provide the evidence that the process here is working. Again, this is all based on information I'm talking about every single day here on the YouTube channel. You do not need to be in Discord or anything like that. That's for more serious traders and people that are looking to trade every single day, okay? But if you just want information, things like that, get on Twitter. Make sure you're subscribed there because I'm telling you, every day I'm printing out different ideas, things happening on the market, and sharing exactly what I'm doing, being transparent with you. Today I posted my loser that I had. So again, I'll see you tomorrow. We'll see how this data prints. More trades are coming.